If you're a financial advisor who's frustrated, stalled out, I've been where you're sitting. I've been a financial advisor for more than 40 years. And today I want to help you avoid the three biggest mistakes that I made and that I now see other high end financial advisors making as they try to grow their comprehensive financial advisory businesses. Mistake number one: focusing on your services instead of being different. Too many advisors try to compete by saying, we offer better services, or we deliver more comprehensive financial planning, or maybe better investment management services. And you can say that until you're blue in the face, but no potential client believes you until they actually experience it by working with you personally. It's all talk. Client data says it's salesy. Trust is earned over time. It can't be claimed. So what works instead? Be different. Be different first. Look around at services every other advisor in your market is overlooking, failing to provide, and you plug the hole. For example, more than 2/3 of clients, and we're talking about multimillionaires here, they say that their advisor has never picked up the phone to coordinate with anyone else on their team, not their CPA, not their attorney, not their insurance agents. The data also confirms that advisor responsiveness is described as not impressive and not proactive. I'm telling you, dissatisfaction at this moment in our industry is so high, you've got a target-rich environment. You can pick many things that the top firms are horrible at, and you can make those things your central theme. So don't focus or try to describe yourself as being better. Be the only game in town. You could say to a potential client, not everyone is looking for a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy, which is as thorough and as comprehensive as what we provide. But for those who are, we're the only game in town. We charge $20,000, and if you don't agree that it's worth more than that, I will waive the fee. See, there you go. You're committing to something that most clients have never seen before, a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy, and you're attaching consequences if it doesn't live up to the promise. So craft a pledge that's targeting what clients don't like about their financial advisors. Focus on those things that no one else in your market is willing or able to commit to. Most firms are unwilling to commit to any consequences for disappointing a client. I'm telling you, the top firms are horrible at the basics, creating written strategies and tactics and providing a written playbook for the client, pulling it all together, coordinating and making things easier, frictionless for the client. I encourage you, make your promise bold, make it true, and that's how you stand out. You radically differentiate yourself rather than just listing the services you provide like every other financial advisor. All right, mistake number two: trying to persuade people to hire you. I'm talking about focusing on sales tactics and closing techniques. The best financial advisors don't use sales techniques. Advisors often obsess over things like sales scripts and persuasion techniques and appointment closing and all of that stuff. Instead, just be great at what you do and then simply look for people who are already searching for a higher quality of work product than they're getting right now. Be able to articulate the great work that you are providing. The conversation should not be about selling your value. It should be about identifying the fit. And that's why I mentor and advise the advisors that I work with to document 2 client profiles for use during client acquisition. You have an ideal client profile describing the traits of the client that you serve best, and you create a non-ideal client profile. This would be a fallback criteria for nice people. You'd love to work with them, but they do not meet your ideal client profile. But they do meet your absolute minimum criteria. And as a non-ideal client that you're willing to serve on a more limited basis, often it's just to create a plan for a high fee, but with no future obligations after it's created. You've got these two profiles. The point of the profile is to identify who's in and who's out, who's a good fit, as well as identifying who's not a good fit. Most financial advisors describe their ideal client profile in vague terms, all-inclusive terms. I'll ask an advisor, what's the profile of the client that you are serving best? And they'll say things like affluent families who need guidance, or maybe they'll say business owners with investable assets. That's not a real profile. I call that a wish list. A real ideal client profile does two things. It invites the right people in, it identifies who they are specifically, but it also screens the wrong people out. If it's not doing both, it's not doing its job. Let me give you an example. Our process is so proactive with such attention to detail that it only makes sense for families who have accumulated $5 million or more. You see, that's very specific. It opts people in, but it also opts people out. You're either in or you're out. Now, I think advisors obsess on wanting to be all-inclusive, but the clients aren't worried about this. You say something like that, they immediately think, okay, that's me. What's next? It's like, check the box, that's me. Or if not, they're happy to admit it. I'll tell you, very few financial advisors listening to this right now will do what I'm recommending. They want to appeal to everyone, not realizing or caring that it's a sign of desperation to potential clients, and it makes them look like every other financial advisor that they've ever met. Nothing different here. I'm just looking for wealthy people. So, a profile that opts people in and screens them out. I've always used my two client profiles as a filter, not as a sales pitch. For example, I'll say something like, this service is only for financial delegators. If you prefer to do everything yourself, that's totally fine. But this service is not the right fit for you. Or, for example, we work with clients who are deeply committed to their financial goals. They're so focused that they're willing to make trade-offs to stay on track to their goals. If that's not where you are right now, this is not the program for you. So let me just say that level of clarity is a service to your potential clients. It saves everyone time. It helps them understand whether this is or is not a good fit for what they're already looking for. There's no need for any sales tactics or techniques. When the right client hears it, they just lean in and say, that's me. The most successful advisors never sell. They filter for fit. Let me go on to mistake number 3. It's related to mistake number 1, but it's starting too small. My mistake was thinking small at the beginning. Now, this one surprises people, especially seasoned advisors. Like I say, it's related to being radically different. I continually hear advisors say things like, we are slowly growing the size of our clients. They're getting a little bit bigger every year. Don't do that. Don't start small and hope your reputation grows slowly over time. Find what you want to be known for and start there right now, immediately. For example, service standards are a really good place to start with this. But like I was saying before, attach bold consequences to the service standards. As I look at the data on what clients think about their financial advisor, dissatisfaction in their current advisor is staggering right now. More than 2/3 of the clients don't recall receiving any tax planning advice in the last 12 months, and almost 2/3 say they have never had their estate plan discussed as a topic in a meeting over the last 5 years. And less than 20% of clients, I'm talking about multimillionaires, have ever received a written strategic plan. So say this, we're the number one most proactive firm in town. We create and maintain a comprehensive written lifetime financial strategy, and we update it continually so that every goal is on track. As long as our client is willing to sit down and meet with me at least once every 4 months, we'll keep you on track to your goals. Or you could say, we return your call in 2 hours or less, or we will buy you a Tesla. I'm making a point here. Instead of Tesla, you could say, or I'll send you and your spouse out to dinner at your favorite restaurant. Steak dinner's on me. But the point isn't the car. I'll tell you, right now, financial advisors are sitting there calculating the cost of this promise. How much would the car cost and all of that, instead of thinking, what system could I create so that I never have to make good on this pledge? See what I mean? Most financial advisors are not comfortable with any consequences whatsoever. They don't like accountability, even if it acquires more ideal clients substantially faster. The point is, you can become the number one firm in your market almost instantly by quietly brainstorming a pledge that no other financial advisor in your market is able or willing to make, especially around service standards. The service standards that affluent clients care most about will make you radically different than other advisors in your market, make you number one in that category. Of course, your actual work product has to match the promise. But if you have the chops and the commitment to work up market, this is how you get there faster, much faster. If you haven't already joined our free program, The Mark of Mastery for financial advisors, and haven't become a part of our professional community of high-end financial advisors who are working fast at becoming the number one firm in their market, this is a group you want to join. You don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to figure it all out from scratch or reinvent the wheel. I'll show you how to quickly build a business that truly deserves ideal clients.